Welcome back, traders. Today we are getting back into the charts and into the information here about the Bitcoin miners. They have been performing kind of poorly relative to Bitcoin lately, and I think a good amount of that has to do with this graph here that we're looking at. This is the outstanding shares graph. Basically, it shows dilution of the shares, and as you can see, in September 2023, we had huge dilution in Mara. Now, Mara has been going up in this amount of time, as we can look here on the chart. We're talking about September. Since September, yeah, this thing's been on a rip uh, all the whole time in September, basically. But it has been outperforming Bitcoin. It kind of petered out here around October, and then now it's going back up again, but we'll see where it hits resistance here later. But we'll see over the course of the year, we have almost doubled the amount of shares for Marathon Digital Holdings, which ultimately kind of lowers my outlook for the end goal price that I'd be wanting to sell my Mara for. That in my mind lowers what the overall potential is because now there are more shares. Um, the same amount of money chasing more shares. And now the amount of money in the system is going to increase over time, but I don't like seeing that doubling of the shares. That means that, there's half the potential that there was before. If there were only 145 million shares when the halving occurs and going forward, we'd be seeing much higher prices. So this dilution of shares lowers our overall outlook of what Marathon Digital could do. Like if my previous outlook was, say, $150 or something like that, which is not far off the mark from what I was looking at, now I'm thinking maybe 80 or 90 is possibly a peak that I'm looking at trying to start getting out of my position at. Anyways, Mara doubled their outstanding shares. Bit Digital is not on Y charts for some reason. Don't know why, but they went from 55 million shares to 89 million shares from September 2022 to September 2023. So that is a yearly increase here of not quite double, but we're getting close. It's a little less than Mara, but not by much. Bit Farms is also not on Y charts. It's on macro trends, which doesn't give me that nice line graph. It gives me the bar graph, but that's okay. We can take a look here. It was at 210 million shares, and now it's at 274 million shares. That's some of the lowest dilution that we've been seeing out of the three so far, with only an increase of 64 million shares out of what was already 200 million shares. So that's a little better in terms of my outlook here. So Bit Digital not quite doubled. So my outlook on that has lowered a little bit, not significantly, but a little bit. Bit Farms, my outlook might actually be improving since it's diluting less than its peers. Clean Spark, that's another one. I don't own it yet, but I'm looking at it. Clean Spark, the outstanding shares more than doubled, so that's a little bit of a red flag there for me. So I do want to buy Clean Spark, but more than double. That's pretty dramatic. And they had one of the better balance sheets. So dilution, I don't know how necessary dilution was or played a role in that great balance sheet, but with them more than doubling the shares, what are they going to do uh, in the next 6 months if things get a little tougher, a little tighter here, monetarily speaking. Anyways, Marathon, this is the chart. So we broke out of our downtrend. If you want to pause and read my little notes here, you can and decipher that. I'm not going to talk about it right now. It's not particularly what I'm looking at the moment. That's just end goal to remind myself on the chart information that I want to know later on. Anyways, we broke this aggressive downward trend. We broke that in October, actually. October 17th, 16th, it broke out, came down a little bit, back tested this upward trend, and has been on this upward momentum for a while here. Right now, we're at the top of that move, which peaked out about 1127. I think we might still have a little bit of an upward move here. We might be able to say maybe come up cap 1245, maybe even $13 before we start seeing a pretty aggressive sell-off again. But we are at the top of this range here. I am looking at this here as a cup, and I'm thinking a handle will probably start forming between, between here and $13. We'll see a handle start forming, going off in a direction, something like this, come up maybe a little over $12 and start coming down, break this downward channel maybe, come down somewhere around $10 ish. That's about the lowest. 950 would be about the lowest I'd want to see it go, and then continue back on up. That's what I'm looking at for marathon right now. That's the current technicals are looking like that. Of course, I would need a confirmation of the cup and handle before, and that confirmation would be breaking out of that downward trend that I just drew. It'd be breaking out above that, like coming into this trend, not going any lower than say 950, and then breaking out of it at about a 45-degree angle and coming up out of that. That would be my confirmation of the cup and handle. Now, that's what it looks like right now. We're at the top of the trend. It could hang out in this top half of this channel here. It could hang out in this top half here for a while, but I do think that we're probably going to see the bottom of that channel before too long. Hopefully the bottom of that channel is maybe 1049. That could be a mini handle in itself, and if it breaks above this channel then we're probably just taking off. Bit Digital has been consolidating pretty tightly since September 1st. It's been just really tightly consolidating. That's when we've been seeing the share dilution has been coming in. Let's go up here. That share dilution, that's about the time the share dilution started coming in. Well, yeah, 1231, and then we had this big jump in the shares, and that's about the time that we've been seeing some of that. Yep, a little bit coming in. And we're just holding in here. Right now we're at the top of the range. We could see the bottom of the range is about $2. It will probably go back to the bottom of the range. It has to come back above 244, break 244. When it breaks 244, we're off to the races. There's really nothing between 244 and 280, and that's a slight resistance, almost no resistance at all, honestly. I wouldn't be surprised if we cut right through that, just like when we cut right through it on the way down. And then the resistance is up at $3.94, $4. So once we're above 244, not much resistance between us and $4, which would be pretty amazing. That'd be pretty great. And let's see, Bit Farms, it broke the aggressive downward channel, and then it went into an upward channel, which it now has broken, and it has broken. This is a daily chart, so it's been completely detached from the upward channel for 3 trading days now. We are on a bullish candle here, looking like we're heading back towards the upward channel, but I wouldn't hold my breath. I would wait. It needs to, honestly, price needs to get up to and break above this 168. As you can see, we were above it, wicked down. We had a big bullish move above it, and then immediately the next day back below it, tapped it, rejected. So we came down here, we rejected at 138, which is bullish for us, because honestly, before what we're looking at, that's the Canadian version. Let's go back to the American version here. There it is. So on the American version, it's 127 because we're in American dollars now. Is that same line? We need to get above that. As you can see, we went above it. Bullish candle, aggressive, wick down, got below it. We've been out of this upward trend now for 1, 2, 3 days. We need to get back up to it. If we don't get back up to it, we're looking at maybe these lows again around 96 cents, possibly. But we're going to continue to consolidate here. These are my notes if you want to pause and take a look at what my notes are. I'm looking at Bollinger Band Keltner channel squeezes right now. All the Bitcoin miners have been in them. I'm looking for price to bounce around 96 cents, like I just said, with a green VIX fix. That's this indicator here, the VIX fix. It turned green right there, actually, and then gray. Green usually precedes an upward move. Usually, not always. Sometimes it's a downward move. With RSI hovering around 50, it could go either way. We don't know. CleanSpark. This is honestly, as you can read here, this shows the game plan for Mara, not Marta, but Mara, Bit Digital, and Bit Farms. I had a squeeze on September 19th with the VIX green back here on the 13th, right before it, and then it consolidated and then hook off. Consolidated around this 50 RSI line for all of October, most of November, and then just blasted off. That's what I'm looking for in the other charts, is just this kind of like consolidation, blast off. And that's what I'm looking for on the other three. CleanSpark just seems to be ahead of the game right now. So let's take a look at Marathon Digital. This is one of the reasons I'm so bullish on these things is, look at this. We had an increase in October from BlackRock of 50% from their UK branch. BlackRock Fund Advisors went up 11%. Let's see where else. Institutional, they sold 0.2%. They only sold 0.2%. They took a little bit of profit. Not the end of the world. Let's see, the biggest owned Investco got in at 3,000% increase. They have more than BlackRock now of this as of September 2023. So Investco and BlackRock, big, big investors in Bit Digital. This is Bit Digital that we're looking at. So that's got me very excited, and that's recently big investors in those things. I like that. What else do we have here? BlackRock Asset Management of Ireland increased by 248%. Some of these decreased. They're taking profits. I don't recognize any of their names. Is anything I should take heed from? Not really. Who got out at 100%? I saw 99%. UBS, don't know who that is. No, none of these are. Some got out at. Why does this keep doing that? Stop taking me to the top. 100%. JP Morgan got out 100%. State of Wyoming. That's, nothing to really be interesting. Marathon Digital. If we look at the same thing, get out of here. And we go to the top here, Investco. So this is for Marathon now. Investco increased also by, that's not right. Why am I looking at chart? Marathon Digital. Institutions. There we go. Let's see. Vanguard increased by 5% as of September. BlackRock 2% as of September. Morgan Stanley 237% as of September. State Street, big hedge fund, has increased 0.8%. That's barely anything, but they did a slight increase. Goldman Sachs 100% increase September. What else we got? Charles Schwab increased 5% as of September. Who's decreasing? JP Morgan Securities, September 1,600% as of September. That's pretty. Citadel, their big market maker, almost 200% increase as of September. Um, any other names of an interest? BlackRock's down here, 22%. BlackRock again, 11%. Yeah, so that's interesting. Bit Farms, Investco 60% increase September. You can just see State Street 2%, 1.4%, sorry. Everyone's increasing basically. BlackRock 50% increase as of October, so that's really, really recent. Another BlackRock, that was BlackRock UK. BlackRock Fund Advisors 10, 11% as of October. That's also quite interesting and good for us here. Let's see, percent change. Let's get percent change on there. Oop, at the top. There we go. Citadel, 300% increase as of September. Morgan Stanley, September, 179. Bank of Montreal, 178 as of September. Morgan Stanley, 159%. 100%. Nah, okay, that's just getting in initial positioning. Invesco, 60. Invesco, another Invesco, 60, almost 57%. BlackRock, 50% increase for UK. Yeah, this is all very good. I like that. What about CleanSpark? What's CleanSpark looking like? 660% from Goldman Sachs in September. Charles Schwab, 273% as of September. BlackRock, 50% as of October. These are all very interesting as well. BlackRock, again, 40% as of September. BlackRock Institutional Trust, 40% almost as of September. These are all very good. Vanguard, 21% as of September. This is all really, really positive looking for the Bitcoin miners, even though their charts aren't looking fantastic right now. CleanSpark's actually is looking pretty good. And even despite that share dilution, we're seeing some big increases in the prices, and that's still quite exciting. So, so that is the update, and have a profitable day.